Mets have crumbled lately. Yet they're still fine. They're in a playoff position. But Will, easiest question to start: are they okay? Are the Mets okay?
Oh, I don't know if that's an easy one, man. That's actually, I
For
don't think
me,
they're.
just ask.
I don't know if they're okay at all. No, I mean, I don't think you could have a weekend like that and be okay, can you? That's really tough. That said, they're like you said, like they're there. Francisco Lindor said it best, I think, the other day when talking about their meeting that they had after one of their losses in Pittsburgh. Like, hey, we're still in it for the playoff spot, and they are, but that's on the strength of their first 2 months of the season. Not what we've seen lately. So they have some proving to do from here on out to make sure that things are okay. But right now they're not. Right now they are not okay.
In what sense? In what sense are they not okay? Because the plan, the plan is always, I'll just make the playoffs. Right now, they're in line to make the playoffs. Other teams are, you know what, we'll put them on the IL for a little bit. Is this indicative of the team that they are, or is this just a really rough stretch?
Well, I think that you could be a fairly decent team and still go through a stretch where things are not okay. And right now, they are going through a stretch where things are not okay. Will they be okay like down the road? Yeah, maybe. But they need some things to happen first. Like they need these guys to get healthier. Sean Manaea for one. Kodai Senga is another guy. Jesse Winker is of low key importance to this group just because of what he brings to that lineup, and he's been missing. So they have some guys who are on the mend who they expect to get back relatively soon. That said, though, like we've seen some things that are just not great from the Mets, whether it be the depth of, say, their bullpen or their pitching staff in general, which we thought was a little bit more of a strength, or frankly, their defense has not been good either. And that's been a season long issue for the most part. And so, even when they do get these guys healthier from the pitching staff, they need to start helping their pitching staff out by catching the ball a little bit better. And then offensively, they have their top guys who are continuing to produce, but the lineup is just not as long as we thought. Like David Stearns and his group went into the season sort of expecting some good things out of Mark Vientos at third base and Francisco Alvarez at catcher to sort of lengthen this lineup out a little bit in addition to those big key guys that they have. And that really has not happened the way that they wanted it to. Francisco Alvarez is, of course, in AAA at this point. And Mark Vientos, yes, he just got back from the IL. And so I don't want to take out too much from a weekend. But he has not gotten going offensively, even dating back to when he was healthy before his stint on the IL. So, things could be okay down the road. But for right now, like they have some things that they need to iron out.
Well, I just want to know this. Team meeting. Ozzie Guillen, I played for Ozzie Guillen. He always said, good teams win, bad teams have meetings. Well, they had a team meeting on Saturday, and you're going to have to tell me what you think was said. And then they went out and lose 12-1 on Sunday. So like, apparently the meeting didn't do much, and 30-4 against the Pirates in a 3-game series, the worst series in the history of the Mets, which is a long history, is amazing. So what was said in this team meeting? Lindor apparently spoke. Alonso possibly spoke. What do they – I was always a thing, like when you have team meeting, what do you really say? Everyone knows they got to be better. Oh, let's try harder. Baseball's not really a try harder sport.
You're right. And I think that also, like, you could have a meeting go fairly well. Like, it wasn't as if, like, this team has a whole lot of issues in their clubhouse. I don't think they do. I think that they have a pretty veteran group that have gone through a lot of things, and they've experienced they experienced plenty just last year, for instance. And a lot of these guys are back. A lot of these guys are the same guys, and they brought in others like Juan Soto. And so, to answer some of your question, Lindor was one of the guys who spoke. So was Pete Alonso. Juan Soto said some things on the pitching side. I think that they have leaders like a David Peterson, who's been in the organization for a long time. Ryan Stanek, a veteran reliever. Reed Garrett's another guy. So like they have guys in the room, and I think it's worth mentioning. And some guys pointed out to me even that, like, when you do have whatever it was, 7, 8, 9 guys speak up during a meeting, that's probably a good thing, where it's not just something that's ran by 1 or 2 people. Like, you have all these guys who are comfortable speaking up and saying their piece. But to your point, it doesn't always translate. Like, you could have a pretty good group in that room, and morale, like they said or suggested, could be pretty high or fairly okay for relative to what they're going through right now, and it just not translate. And that's what we've seen. So I think Brendan Nimmo actually hit the nail on the head when he spoke to the media about the meeting. And he said, look, it's not going to be something that gets fixed overnight. It's just not. He said, I wish it was something like that, but that's just not usually how it works. And so I really appreciated just that perspective and that sort of realism that he brought to the conversation, because some of their issues just won't be fixed that easily. Like these are things that maybe at the deadline they could address, but there are also some season long things that just need to get better. And I just feel like it's a combination of a few different things. And it's just not something that a meeting is going to, like you said, AJ, just all of a sudden switch things up. And now they're going to play this inspired brand of baseball and everything's going to be okay. They had the meeting. They fell down 5-0 in the first inning, and then after that, the game was pretty much over on Sunday. So it just hasn't translated, and it certainly was never going to be the one answer anyway, though.
It might be that time. If you're looking for a new car, there's one place to go that is going to take care of you, and it's Car Gurus.
Yeah. Looking for a car should be fun, not exhausting. Everywhere else, it's exhausting. You're dodging people. You're trying to just, oh, can I look at this car? Car Gurus, you type in your search, you find the color that you want, it narrows it down for you, and all of a sudden you're like, this has been an exciting experience, and you got a great deal.
With over 4 million listings, Car Gurus has more car listings than any other major online automotive marketplace in the US, so you can find the best deal. It's no wonder SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's cargurus.com. Cargurus.com.
Is there any way that David Stearns kind of abandons his way of looking at pitching, that he has had success in Milwaukee, had success until about 16 games ago, about how you build a pitching roster? Does he abandon that at the trade deadline?
That's a good question. I don't think you necessarily have to abandon the whole thing. You do need some help, though, there. They have yet to have a pitcher go and record it out in the sixth inning. I think it's up to 13 straight games. That's a long time to go without somebody recording it out in the sixth inning for your starting staff. And it's weighed on the bullpen, and it's forced them to shuttle guys onto and off the roster. And they've needed to rely on these guys to get some big outs day in, day out. And even when they've eased off on some of these relievers, just I feel like the cumulative effect of needing to do this from the beginning of the season on has caught up to some of these guys from a command standpoint, just not having it on some days. So they clearly need to address it. I feel like they need to get a starting pitcher. I don't know if there's going to be like that ace caliber that's out there for them to go out and acquire, but they'd certainly need help. And I think that asking, say, Sean Manaea to come back and be the guy that he was in the second half after dealing with some health issues is asking a lot. I think that he has the potential to be that guy, but he has to demonstrate some health first. And so they're asking him to come back and be a prominent factor. He can be, but they really need Kodai Senga to be back from that hamstring issue and pick up where he left off as well. I think if you get those contributions plus add a starting pitcher to the mix, that has some veteran experience and can give you some reliability as far as getting to the sixth inning, at the very least, it helps things out. It really does, because they're just not at the point where I feel like they have somebody in AAA even that could really come up and make that much of a difference right now. They tried it a little bit with Blade Tidwell, mixed results at best. And I just feel like at this point in the season, with a few weeks left to go before the trade deadline, it's definitely been an area where they're going to need to address. And for me, it's their biggest concern.
Hey, Will, last one for you. Thoughts on the offense here? I mean, that seems to be the one part that I think is a World Series lineup, especially with the way that obviously Juan Soto just dominated the month of June. I mean, where would they be without the lineup they put together this month?
Well, it should be. It just has not produced in the way that you could convince me that it is right now. Because to your point, like Juan Soto is coming off a really historic June. I mean, he put together one of the best calendar months in franchise history when you account for his walks, the power that we've seen, just the way that he dominated and dictated so many at-bats. It was just unreal to watch on a day-in-day basis, and they didn't really take much advantage of it. They've gone through this tough stretch of 16 games or so, and it's just has not been good. As much as the pitching has been an issue and is probably their biggest issue, the offense hasn't really helped them that much. And it's a shame because when you went into this season, you kind of figured that like it would be the lineup, it would be the offense that picked things up for the pitching staff. And it wasn't happening in the first couple of months of the season, but their starting staff in particular and their pitching staff as a whole was so good that it didn't really matter that much. But right now, in these last few weeks, it has really been on the offense to pick up the slack, and they haven't done so. So when I look at this lineup, it sort of baffles me because you have Lindor, you have Soto, you have Alonso, you have Nimmo, you have McNeil. Those are 5 guys right there. And then you add in some of the young talent that they have, and it's like, okay, like 1 through 9, you should be pretty deep here. It just hasn't happened. I think it's between 6, 7, 8, 9. Most days the 5th spot as well before Jeff McNeil's hot stretch. They just haven't gotten enough from the back end of their lineup. And so when that happens, and if one of your star players goes into a little bit of a slump, you simply can't afford it. And I feel like that's what's been going on so far for the Mets, particularly this month of June.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.